Welcome to Key Tech. Please describe this channel if you are interested in today's video. In recent years, China has heard more and more news about the United States expanding sanctions, which have even extended from restricting advanced chip manufacturing equipment, such as photolithography machines, to restricting engineers from allies such as Japan and the Netherlands in providing maintenance. Especially against the Chinese company Huawei, the sanctions were unprecedentedly long and intense, far exceeding Japan's Toshiba and France's Alstom. But what the United States did not expect was that Japan recently announced that Huawei would get rid of American technology. After Huawei became a global leader in 5G, the United States implemented multiple rounds of severe sanctions. Ren Zhengfei probably knows the extent of the pressure Huawei is facing. He once said that the United States does not want to hurt China, but wants to beat China to death. However, Huawei did not compromise or be defeated. Instead, it developed a stronger Huawei. Under the leadership of Ren Zhengfei, Huawei has found ways to break through, and has also achieved domestic substitution of many hardware and software. In the words of foreign media, the most heartbreaking thing for Raimondo is that Huawei has completely solved the problem of chip-stuck neck. At the end of August last year, during U.S. Secretary of Commerce Raimondo's visit to China, Huawei's Mate 60 series of mobile phones were directly launched, bringing with it the self-developed Kirin chip 9000S, which quickly attracted the attention of all parties, and many media agencies conducted dismantling. The United States was also very shocked by this and organized a special investigation to conduct an in-depth investigation. After investigation and testing by all parties, it was confirmed that Huawei's Kirin chip is indeed produced by the mainland industry, and the process reaches 7 nanometers performance. The key point is that it does not contain any American technology. Not to mention, recently Huawei's Pura70 series has once again been sold before release, and it has brought an iterative Kirin 9010 chip. In just over half a year, Huawei's self-developed Kirin chip has been upgraded and iterated, with performance improved by 10% compared to before. The speed is once again shocking. This may make the Pura70 series as popular as the Mate 60 series. The continued hot sales of the Mate 60 series helped Huawei's mobile phone shipments surge by 69.7% in the first quarter of this year, and its domestic smartphone market share rose to 15.5%, surpassing OPPO, and the share gap with Apple was only 0.2%. Next, with the addition of the new flagship Pura70 series mobile phones, the share in the next quarter may exceed Apple's. Before the United States issued a chip ban, TSMC stopped manufacturing Kirin chips designed by Huawei, and Qualcomm was unable to supply 5G chips. It only obtained a shipment license for 4G and other chips, and the 5G function was directly emasculated. At that time, China could not manufacture high-end chips, and 5G radio frequency chips were also restricted by the United States. To ensure the continuation of its mobile phone business, Huawei could only use Qualcomm's 4G Snapdragon chips and release 4G mobile phones, so mobile phone sales plummeted. If Huawei's mobile phone business wants to return to its peak, the only way out is to conduct self-research and solve problems such as chips and systems by itself. Although the difficulties it faced were almost unimaginable, it lived up to expectations. Huawei continued to increase investment in research and development during the most difficult times. Finally, in just over 3 years, it achieved the return of its self-developed Kirin chips, and Huawei mobile phones began to sell well again. Many overseas media were unwilling to accept this and started dismantling it as soon as possible. They disassembled the Mate 60 series last year, and recently disassembled the Pura70 series. As a result, the disassembly report of the investigation company released by the Japanese media surprised the outside world. Because they found that the core components of Pura70 are 100% domestically produced, making it the most domestically produced mobile phone in history. Regarding Huawei's breakthrough in chips, I'm afraid everyone wants to see the attitude of U.S. Commerce Secretary Raymond. Recently, Raimondo accepted an interview with a program called 60 Minutes, and admitted that he was slapped in the face by Huawei chips when asked by reporters. However, Raimondo also directly belittled the Kirin chip, saying that it still lags behind the United States in terms of advancement, indicating that export controls are still effective. Although what is said is true, it is not difficult to see that it is full of embarrassment and helplessness. Facts have proved that although the United States has implemented many severe sanctions, it has actually accelerated the breakthrough of Chinese chips. In fact, historical sanctions have shown that any country whose high-tech technology surpasses that of the United States and can threaten the vested interests of the United States will be suppressed by U.S. sanctions. This is true for Toshiba, Alstom, Huawei, etc. However, if we want to find a way out and continuously reduce our dependence on foreign technology, we can only continue to increase investment in research and development and achieve true technological leadership. Although the road ahead is full of difficulties, as long as China persists, it can reach the top.